What happens when you stop reacting and start responding? 3 years ago, I was a completely different person. I would explode over anything, argue about nonsense, live stressed out, and my relationships were falling apart. Until I learned the difference between reacting and responding, and that literally changed everything in my life. Today, I'm going to show you what happens in your brain when you make that shift and how a 10-second technique can change your life forever. If you constantly regret the things you say when you're angry, this video could be a complete game changer for you. The difference that changed everything. First, you need to understand the fundamental difference. Reacting equals automatic, impulsive, emotional. Responding equals conscious, intentional, thought out. When you react, your reptilian brain takes over. You're on autopilot. Words come out without a filter. You regret it later. When you respond, your prefrontal cortex is in control. You choose your words carefully. You act according to your values. You feel proud of your behavior. The difference? A simple space between the stimulus and your action. What happens in your brain? Let me explain the science behind it. When someone offends or irritates you, your brain perceives it as a threat. In milliseconds, your amygdala sets off a chemical alarm. If you react immediately, cortisol and adrenaline flood your system. Your blood pressure spikes. Your emotional intelligence drops to zero. You turn into a wounded animal attacking. But if you create a 10-second space, your prefrontal cortex takes back control. Stress hormones settle. You access your emotional intelligence. You respond like an evolved human being. Those 10 seconds are the difference between being a slave to your emotions or a master of them. The 10-second technique that changed everything. Here's a technique that transformed my life. The PAUSE method. P, pause. When you feel irritation rising, stop. Don't say anything. Acknowledge. Say to yourself, I'm angry right now, and it's okay to feel this. You understand. Breathe. 3 deep breaths. Oxygen calms your nervous system. S, shift. Ask yourself, how would the best version of me respond right now? E, execute. Speak and act from that version of you. This takes no more than 10 seconds, but it completely changes the outcome. Real life example. Let me tell you what happened last week. Situation. My wife came home complaining that I didn't wash the dishes. Old reaction, what I would have done. I work all day and you're nagging about dishes? You don't do anything. New response, using the method. You're right, love. I promised to do it and forgot. I'll take care of it now. I'm sorry. Result. She was surprised by my reaction. Everything was resolved in 2 minutes. We had a peaceful evening. Our connection grew stronger. If I had reacted, we would have fought all night and gone to bed angry. What changes in your life? Once you master the skill, 7 things change immediately. Your relationships improve by 300%. People respect you more because you're no longer predictable in anger. Your stress levels drop. You stop creating unnecessary storms in your life. Your self-esteem rises. You feel proud of your reactions instead of ashamed. People are drawn to you. You become a reference for emotional balance. You solve problems faster. Instead of making things worse with emotional reactions, your energy increases. You stop wasting energy on drama and emotional messes. You become a natural leader. People follow those who are emotionally grounded, not those who explode. The 3 biggest mistakes people make. Mistake 1. Try to change everything at once. Start with small situations. Don't try to apply this in the middle of a huge fight. Mistake 2. Beating yourself up when you fail. You will mess up in the beginning. It's normal. Every failure is a lesson. Mistake 3. Not practicing when you're calm. Train the technique while you're at peace. The middle of a storm is not the time to learn. Practical exercise for today. Here's your challenge for today. Choose one person who usually gets on your nerves. Visualize a typical situation where you normally react badly. Mentally practice the PAUSE method. Picture yourself responding instead of reacting. Feel the difference in your energy, your posture, the outcome. Do this for 5 minutes today. your brain will start building new neural pathways. The secret of spiritual masters. You know what separates an ordinary person from a spiritual master? It's not that the master never feels anger or frustration. They do feel it. The difference is, they've created a sacred space between the stimulus and the response. In that space, they choose who they want to be. When you master this, you stop reacting to life, and you start creating your life with conscious responses. Look, I know this might sound too simple to be true, but the biggest transformations come from the simplest shifts. You have two options: keep being a slave to your emotions and regretting it afterward. Start training your responses today and become the master of your emotional life. The choice is yours. Challenge: use the PAUSE method at least once today. Then come back and tell me how it went in the comments. I really want to know. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Sometimes we're the instrument the universe uses to change someone's life. And if you want more content on emotional intelligence and personal growth, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Remember, you're not a victim of your emotions. You are the architect of your responses. Until the next video, practice the art of responding, not reacting.